Guys.
Great.
We're waiting, Becky.
So the dog's going in?
Yeah, you can go in. Everyone
Just
can
sit
go
down
in
anyway.
Hey, yo, Dumbo.
Oh, you're meant to be an usher. You're meant to be telling us where to sit.
Go. Get John. Dog's there.
There we go.
Brilliant. No, we don't.
Boys, alright. Does anyone need any cotton holes? Any basketball players? No?
Standing for your flag.
With two short readings, and the first one was chosen by my wife. And the second one I chose. The first one then is taken from Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. I have, for the first time, found what I can truly love. I have found you. You are my sympathy, my better self, my good angel. I am bound to you with strong attachment. I think you good, gifted, lovely. A fervent, a solemn passion is conceived in my heart. It leans to you, draws you to my centre and spring of life, wraps my existence about you, and, kindling in pure, powerful flame, fuses you and me in one. It was because I felt and knew this that I resolved to marry. hard is it? Right. Within this blessed union of souls, where two hearts intertwine to become one, there lies a promise. Perfectly born, divinely created, and intimately shared. It is a place where the hope and majesty of beginnings reside, where all things are made possible by the astounding love shared by two spirits. As you hold each other's hands in this promise, and eagerly look into the future in each other's eyes, may your unconditional love and devotion take you to places where you've both only dreamed, where you dwell for a lifetime of happiness, sheltered in the warmth of each other's arms.
Final reading is from John's Gospel. And he says, as the sickness and in health, and will you be faithful to her and her alone, as long as you both live?
I will.
Rebecca, will you have John to be your husband? Will you live with him in obedience to God's will and purpose? Will you love him, honour him, and care for him in sickness and in health? And will you be faithful to him and him alone as long as you both live?
I will.
Turn to face each other. Who gives this woman to this man?
I do.
Would you like to come forward, please? John underneath that. So, looking at Rebecca, you say, I, John,
I, John,
take you, Rebecca,
take you, Rebecca,
to be my wife,
to be my wife,
to have and to hold, from this day forward, for better, for worse,
for better, for worse,
for richer, for poorer,
for richer, for poorer,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
to love and to cherish,
to love and to cherish,
as long as we both shall live,
as long as we both shall live,
according to the will
according to the will
and the purpose of God.
and the purpose of God,
And to this,
and to this
I give you my pledge.
I give you my pledge.
That's lovely. Same hands, wasn't I, Rebecca, take you, John, to be my husband, to have and to hold, from this day forth, better for worse, for richer for poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish, as long as we both shall live, according to the will and purpose of God. And to this, I give you my pledge. That's lovely. Space to stay. in token
in token
of my love and faithfulness.
of my love and faithfulness.
I honour you with my body
I honour you with my body
and all my possessions.
and all my possessions
I share with you.
I share with you.
Like you say, John, receive this ring
I receive this ring
as a sign
as a sign
of the love and faithfulness
of the love and faithfulness
between us.
between us.
Lovely ring rested on you. So, as John and Rebecca consented together in marriage and have made their pledge to one another before God and before this congregation, and have declared it by joining of hands and by giving and receiving of rings, I declare that they are now husband and wife, in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Those whom God has joined together, let no person put asunder. God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit, bless, preserve, and keep you. The Lord mercifully, with his favour, look upon you, and so fill you with all spiritual benediction and grace, that you may so live together in this life, that in the world to come you may have life everlasting. Amen. As I have just said, John and Rebecca are now husband and wife, while John gives his wife a long, lingering kiss. We should congratulate her.
When the heat
There we go.
There we go. Right, we're going to do the speeches now then, so I will hand you straight over to Steve, Daddy P.
There you go. Can everyone hear at the back? 1, 2, 3. I hear the train a-comin', it's rolling round the bend. I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know where. I'm looking for some prison, and time keeps rolling on. Thanks everybody for coming. That's friends, family, and everyone. I can't really see with these glasses on, but I'll give it a go. Yeah. It seems like only yesterday, Beth, when I was bouncing you on my knee. But here we are today. And oh, here we go, here we go. Yeah, I'm fine. You have to read this with me because I can't even see it. Shall we do that? Shall we do that? I hear the train a-comin'. I can do it, I really can. Yeah, it seems like only yesterday when I was bouncing you on my knee. But and where are we now? I can't see a thing with these glasses.
Brightening up the room.
Brightening up your room with your smile. Got quite a way to go yet, haven't I? Shall I just go with it instead?
Come on.
Shall I just go with it?
Yes.
Just go with it. I can't remember what I wrote down there. Hello?
That's better, yes.
I can't read that without my glasses. Give me yours.
They're not mine.
Oh yeah.
They have fantastic vision.
Right, okay.
Don't start on me now. I will, yeah. Yes, it seems like only yesterday when I was when I was bouncing you on my knee, and here we are today, and you and John are getting married. Well, oh my God! And oh shit to that. I'm not very good at speeches.
Sing a song, Steve, go on.
I'll do that later. Yeah. I'm going to thank everybody. Sam and Emma. Brilliant location. Lovely marquee. And David and Jane for helping out. Jerry. And everyone else. And bet you are beautiful. And another toast to bride and groom. Bride and groom.
Well done, Steve. I think it's pretty clear how proud Steve is of you, Beck. So thank you very much. Next we will hand over to John Boy.
Hi there. Thank you, Daddy P. Heartfelt, obviously difficult words to project, but very heartfelt. I'd like to, basically, I've got a lot of thanks to do, so steady on the drinks. Yeah, today we probably wouldn't be here if it wasn't for probably every single person in this room for some reason or another. Everyone has been a massive part of our life. We have wonderful friends and family. So yeah, I've got a few thanks to say. Rebecca, my wife, and I. We'd like to thank all of our parents. I think between us we've quite a few. But you are, all of you, so massively important to us. You give us great support, guidance and encouragement in whatever we've decided to do, whatever challenges encounter us with our lives, whether we've brought them on ourselves or whether they've just come about. But without you guys and everything you've done for us, massive thank you. Brilliant. So if you'd all like to raise a glass to all of our parents. Yeah. Team parents. We'd also like to thank our friends. I know it's a pretty broad spectrum, but all of our friends, they've stuck by us through all sorts of stuff, picked us up when we're down, and also obviously enjoyed lots of crazy times, fun times, probably some of the things we shouldn't have been doing, but we've all just had great times with you guys. So great thank you to all of our friends. So again, if we'd all like to raise your glasses, team friends. Good cards. And then moving on to, we obviously moved to Wales, or I moved to Wales a year or so ago. Beck decided that she'd buy a small cottage in Bridgend. Bit of a challenging project, but we have made the most amazing neighbours. We have got the most amazing neighbours.
Here we are!
I want a massive thank you. These guys, they have welcomed us with everything that we've done, everything we've put upon them with open arms. I honestly cannot say what these guys have done for us. It's absolutely incredible. Support, friendship, alcohol, everything. It really is truly amazing. No matter what time or day you've been there for us. Whether it's rescuing Rebecca because she definitely didn't put petrol in a diesel car, whether it's Terry, who's nearly 60 and can't see that well and decided to climb a tree and cut it down for us. It's literally anything, no matter what it is, you guys will do anything for us. Nothing is too much trouble. And just massive thank you to you guys. It's so, well, without you guys we probably wouldn't be here. So, yeah. Team Neighbours, let's have a drink. We'd also obviously like to thank everyone who has been involved with today, putting on today, no matter whether, from whatever it has been, your help, no matter how small, how big, it's been massively, well, today wouldn't have happened without any of you guys. So from, I don't know, fetching the chair covers, to the flowers, to everything. It really has, we couldn't be here today without you guys, without everyone arriving. So, and some of you made some epic trips. One person in particular, which I dare, Uncle Andy. So, yeah, so team wedding, if we'd like to raise a glass. Also like to thank Sam and Emma. Sam and Emma. What we're doing now? Sam and Emma, right. These guys, Sam, Emma, incredible friends to Rebecca. They've been friends for a long, long time now. I think Rebecca's sort of been, well, their sidekick, but she's always been. They've been inseparable. I cannot say their friendship is incredible. But since I've met them, they've been incredible friends to me as well. I'm not sure if this is just because they've finally got someone to palm her off on, but you know, really, you guys support the friendship that you've given to me, to us, to Rebecca, is incredible. Really, absolutely brilliant friends. So, would you like to raise a glass? Team Salmonella. So, to the main event. Rebecca, my beautiful wife. I was introduced to Rebecca a few years ago now by my little sis Sammy. We were out one night in the Berkeley Arms, and you could say I wooed Rebecca that night with my amazing good looks, fantastic charm. However, those who were there that night just know that I got extremely drunk, but sort of recovered it by walking her home. So that was kind of our introduction. Since that night, we haven't looked back, I'll be honest. Words cannot describe what Rebecca has done for me and means to me. Rebecca is an extremely determined person. Whatever she decides to do, decides to take on, it's incredible. This probably is still why I'm here, to be honest. For example, buying and renovating her first house while renovating, whilst working a full-time-ish job, completing her 3rd degree, starting her 4th degree, and toughest of all, looking after me. Rebecca, I love you so much. Thank you for being my best friend and for being my wife. Team Rebecca. Finally, the best man. Here he is. Jason. Originally known as Nick, but we call him Jason. I've known Nick for 25 years come September. He's been a bloody good friend to me, particularly in recent times. So I know he wouldn't say or show anything bad about me. No? Good. But I would like to thank Jason. He's helped me massively through a tough part of my life a few years ago, and I won't forget that. Been an absolute awesome friend. So I'd like to raise a glass to Team Jason. But before I hand you over to Jason for a few words, I need to hand you over to the man and maid of honour.
That's a real thing.
Salmonella.
You're alright. Do you want a Chinese room?
Do you want to go these birds?
Salmonella, lovely name. We'll give you a nod. Sorry, what? Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who do not know who we are Sam and Emma, the man and maid of honour. We'd like to take this opportunity to thank Rebecca and John for the absolute privilege of allowing us to be part of your day today. Beck, you look beautiful. John, sure. You kind of do too. You've both worked so hard this week to make this marquee look amazing, so well done.
Okay, so Rebecca has been my best friend for over a decade now, and I wouldn't change a moment of it. Funnily enough, for two loud, occasionally opinionated ladies with large characters, we've never actually had an argument. Yeah? You're my best friend in the whole world, and I genuinely do not know what I'd do without you. You're the funniest, most kind-hearted person I know, and I love you so much. Yeah. So, I've also never known anyone who can fit as many words as Becky can into one sentence without taking a breath. Seriously, it's insane when she's recording. Oh, sorry.
For those of you who don't know, Beck was maid of honour at our wedding 2 years ago. We're just going to take a moment now just to reflect on one of the things you said. Aimed at us. Well, they're weird. Now it's our turn, Rebecca. Let's take a look at a couple of the incidents that don't make you look quite so normal.
From our teenage years of drinking in the Llangynwyds, and practically living next door to each other, it's been a journey. When Beck moved to Cheltenham to go to uni, our friendship had to adapt to being apart, but it did. Probably my favourite memory of the Cheltenham years was when we attended the glitter ball with the young farmers. We were staying at Becky's student house, and this story literally sums up Beck's ability to make an awkward situation even worse. You're laughing now. It was Christmas Eve, and we were out to celebrate. After pre-drinks at the student house, lots of pre-drinks and some weird like glitter lit things, yeah. Yeah, it was. We arrived at the racecourse for the party. Shortly after we arrived, we bumped into some of the cool kids from school. You know, the ones that like you kind of like walk to the other side of the corridor because you're supposed to like worship them. We were surprised they recognised or remembered us. After awkward small talk, and it was really awkward small talk, The next thing I know, Becky has fallen on the floor and is on the floor rolling around, hugging the cigarette bin. Needless to say, they didn't stay to chat. They kind of like just walked off. Well done, Becky.
Before we knew it, Beck had completed her first degree and was living in Swansea, ready to begin her masters. I'd say it was at this time her love for sewing began. This was fuelled further by meeting Nigel and Lorna, who she interned with for a while. On visits to her in Swansea, we were subjected to countless creations of varying taste. Living on a shoestring budget, Beck found innovative ways of living. One of these included scouring charity shops for bargains. Now, it certainly was creative to buy and these. You didn't know them very well. To pull off the lesbian chic look. I will point out, we had promised a communal burning of these dungarees. well, they'll survive a little while longer.
Okay, so Becky travelled to Thailand for 6 weeks to do some travelling. On arrival, at the grand old age of 24, she realised she was actually the oldest person in the group. Amongst trekking through the jungle, meeting the elephants and the tigers, they also visited a water activity park. Now, the younger girls on the trip wanted to lie on this inflatable floating pillow while someone jumped from a height, catapulting them off into the water. They didn't have the bottle though, because they were young and they were all like, you told me. So being the mum of the group, Beck volunteered to go first. So, for those of you that haven't seen the video, here it is.
Takes a moment.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember her ringing me and being like, I'm bruised everywhere. So, she certainly can show a great of a belly flop.
Now, there's also the time Beck decided to run a marathon. Only Beck would do her training on the flat to then enter the hilliest mountain in the country. Yeah, that's what I said. Only realising when chatting to the lady on next to her at the start line, who had recently completed the London Marathon in 4 hours, but would be happy to achieve 6 due to the undulating course. Beck's groupies were waiting at the finish line. I think through a little bit of boredom and true Perry style, they ended up in the pub when they were trolling by the time Beck finished. So. She did do it in under 6 hours though.
She was just shaking her head.
Okay. During our wedding preparations, I remember all of the bridesmaids met to go dress shopping. Now Becky, never late, was early to the meeting, but she had an awful hangover. Now John's kind of brushed over this, so I'm not gonna waffle on too much. We all know how good our Beck is for hangovers. She was, however, wearing the biggest smile I've ever seen. Just to put this into context, Beck doesn't smile with a hangover, ever, ever. But it turns out she had met Mr. Little. She'd been staying at her dad's in the Shire and gone out for some drinks with Sammy before they... where have I got to? And they met in the BA and they hit it off. Some stuff happened. And here we are today.
At this point, I think we do need to address the elephant in the room. Having recently celebrated his 45th birthday, there is a small age gap between the two of these. Now I, for one, think it's great that incontinence gets John up early to make the coffee. And John really has learnt a lot from Beth, teaching her about technology. It's called FaceTime, John. You can see who you're calling. Now, we know you're probably going to have to go for a little lie down in a minute, John. It's getting to that time, isn't it? So the telegraph's waiting out in the car for you. Yes, John, but you've done your speech.
Oh, God! We knew from early days John was going to be Beck's Mr. Right. We were a little bit worried before John that one day she would announce that there would be a Mrs. Right. Yeah. Here's our unconventional list of reasons why they're perfect together. Number 1, they both love shoes, obsessively collect and love and worship shoes. We think John might actually have more pairs than Beck.
Number 2, they're both on the unconventional side. We won't go into that anymore. Number 3, you've both got moustaches. No. You're both awful with hangovers. Sorry. Don't know how I got that. Caused by them both being easily swayed to stay for one more drink. I think Team Beeve and your neighbours have got a lot to answer for.
Number 4. They are both passionate, hard-working and wonderful people who will work as hard as they can to achieve their dreams. Just look at their house. Oh, did you know it was on the television? I'm not sure if Beck's mentioned it to anybody ever. But honestly, Rebecca is a character. We are proud to call her our best friend, and John now too. When Beck met John, in Beck's words, we became a 4-man wolf pack.
Our favourite thing about Rebecca is she really can dig deep. She's not afraid of a bit of hard work, whether it's knocking down walls, running a marathon, or studying for yet another degree. I think the last one was a year's worth of learning in 48 hours and still pulling off one of the highest marks. Well done, Beck. But Beck will find the grit, determination and willpower to succeed. We could not be more proud of her. Rebecca and John, your future is so bright. You have a wonderful home, Tamba, the Bilingo. Sure. And each other. We know you will have a long, beautiful, weirdly ever after. Apparently, to bring a maiden man of honour speech to a close, you're supposed to finish with a quote from the bride's favourite film. However, William Wallace yelling "freedom" doesn't really work. Not for you, anyway, John.
Okay, so now for the toast. Here's to those that have seen us at our best and seen us at our worst and can't tell the difference.
Rebecca and John.
Rebecca and John.
See this mic, John, you're not allowed it back. And now hand over to Jason. Are you doing it from here? Or?
I forgot to do it down there.
Got that stopwatch going. Right, thanks very much to Sam and Emma. Pretty good job, wasn't it? Pretty tough act to follow. Luckily, I have an audio-visual spectacular for you. Well, there's audio and visual anyway. We'll see about the rest. So, for those who don't know me, my name's Nick, and I'm the best man. I've known John for quite a while now, pretty much from when he looked like this. I don't know if you can see at the back there, but you notice he's got glasses and no beard. So looking like this. No glasses, beard. I'm not sure, when he lost the glasses, he had to grow a beard to maintain some sort of head weight equilibrium. Or whether since losing the glasses, he just can't tell he needs a shave. But that's our John. So yeah, I've known John for a long time now, maybe like 25 years or so. We went to school together, when we got up to the usual sort of mischief. We used to do things like drive to Burger Star in Gloucester. Remember that, John? We used to pretty much kill ourselves on the way on a weekly basis. We used to engage in the ancient sport of hedge jumping, which basically involved getting drunk, running down the neighbour's hedge and just jumping in it, generally flattening it. Seemed like a good idea at the time. But yeah, it's fair to say we shared a lot over the years. So when John asked me to be best man, naturally I was honoured, although a little bit terrified, because I've never done this before. So I did what a lot of people do in this situation and turned to the internet. I spent a while on there looking at speeches and all that kind of stuff. I thought, you know what, this isn't that good. I'm better than that. John's better than that. You guys are better than that. So I thought, you know what, there's going to be no jokes about how the day is so emotional, even the cake's in tears. There's going to be no jokes about being asked to be best man as being like being asked to sleep with the Queen. It's a great honour, but no one to do it if you hadn't heard that joke. Because you know what, I think, John deserves better. I'm going to do it. I'm going to write my own material. So that's what I did. So I spent the last few weeks going over all the sort of best jokes I could find, all the age-old stories, just perfecting those punchlines. And I read through it last night, and I was sat there in the hotel, and I read through it and I thought, you know what, this is actually really, really shite. It turns out I'm no comedian. I'm sorry, John. I'm sorry, mate. Yeah, it wasn't happening. However, what I did find out is that I am supposed to say a few thank yous. It's my duty to do that. And also, a few things I read on the internet said that apparently you get a better laugh if people are a bit more, pissed. So I thought we'd combine the two. So I know there has been a few thank yous, but we'll just say a couple more anyway. Firstly, thanks to you guys. You all look great, and you've made it over here and actually found the place. So I think that deserves a drink in itself. So cheers for coming all the way over here. Secondly, I'd like to thank Emma and the bridesmaids. You've done a great job supporting Beck throughout the day, especially little Amelie. I don't know if she's still here, but oh, there she is. So a drink to them, please. Raise a glass to the bridesmaids. Thank you. And then my lot, who spent equally as long doing their hair and makeup and looking pretty for you all, the ushers. So thanks guys, we didn't do a great deal, but you seem to do it relatively well and stay relatively sober. So raise a glass to them, please, to the ushers. Cheers. Everyone pushed it? No? We had quite a few toasts, so it should be almost there. It's I'm banking on anyway. Right, there's one other thank you I'd like to do actually. You get another chance to have a drink. And that's to, basically, it's you might have noticed. Well, essentially, it's to the elusive other best man. I don't know if some of the more observant of you would have picked up that on the back of the order of events in the church. So there was another name on there. So that is my friend, I say, with quotation marks, Rich Seeley. Yeah, he was down to be the other best man, and he was supposed to be standing alongside me now, helping out with this duty. But he so say has to work in Japan, so he's not with us, unfortunately. So yeah, thanks for leaving me in the lurch, Rich. There's a special thank you to you. So if we can raise a glass to Rich. Thank you very much. I'll remember that one, Rich, don't you worry. Okay, right. Now, this is the part where I recount all the embarrassing stories about John over the years. Now, as a lot of you would know, well, some of you know, that I have actually the world's worst memory. So I found that part a little bit difficult. So we're not going to do that. But what I am going to tell you, and it has been touched on before, was I'm going to recount a more recent memory of how John and Bex met. Now, you've heard a couple of versions, the more sort of, should we say, reserved versions. And now I'll give you the truth. So, John rings me up one evening, says that I want to go out for a beer, which I personally thought was a miracle in itself, to be honest. And he said he's met this, well, he'd been talking to this girl, Bex, and would I go along with him and Rich, the other best man, to have a beer with him, Sammy, he's just sitting over here, and Bex. So we go to the Berkeley Arms, we have a few drinks, and they're an instant hit. Seem to get on like a house on fire. So we stick around for a few more pints, and we decide as the night's going so well, we'll go down to the Mariners. This is another pub. Another couple of pints, and then yeah, so we know a couple of pints, then we head back up to back to the original pub. There's not that much choice in Berkeley. Here it is. Sorry, yeah. So yeah, we go back to the other pub, then we have a couple more beers. But on the way there, I suddenly noticed that there's a couple of people missing from my little party. And I turn around and I sort of see a distinct Bex and John-like figure sort of disappearing up an alleyway. It's like, Christ, this boy does not mess around. And yeah, so I thought, bloody hell, it's like 15 all over again. So we carry on to the pub, and then a few minutes later, they saunter in. John looked like he'd had a Girls' Night Out with Lily Savage. He had so much lipstick all over his chops. This works even like that. Anyway, so you have a couple more drinks, and then they're constantly going off to the toilet, sort of conveniently sort of together, numerous times until they make the grand disappearing act right at the end of the evening, and we're left wondering where they are, disappeared into the night. Only to be found later on, as I drove home, they were basically busted, walking along hand in hand back to John's. So, and then we say the rest is history. 12 months later, John's down on one knee in Venice. And then another 12 months, here he is, husband and wife. So he doesn't mess around. Right, of course, as well. Right, so where's my notes? I forgot my notes now. So yeah, right. What I was thinking, they are very well suited, John and Bex, aren't they? But what I was thinking is, what is it that truly melts Bex's heart? What is it? You know, what sort of things is it that John gets her really going? I was wondering whether it was a couple of things. First thing, I was wondering whether it's his sporting prowess or well-honed physique. Now, it's true, John's always been into the sports, mainly Sky Sports, but these days he also BT Sports gets a little bit of practice as well. But no, to give him his credit, he always has been into the old dirt bikes, and he always claimed he claimed that for motocross riding, he always gave him these big forearms. Although I have my suspicions, I'll be honest. But to be fair to him, even to this day, he maintains the same rigorous sporting regime. He actually gets up every morning, he does 30 minutes of strenuous exercise, working various muscle groups, raising up his blood pressure, and really getting a sweat on. And then he just flushes the loo and goes about his day.
So, or maybe Bex admires his sheer commitment to the cause and making a real go at whatever life throws at him. An example of this is moving to a new area is always tough, let alone a new country. So, luckily, John is an absolutely adept hand at making a seamless transition into any environment. And to demonstrate this case, we've actually got some footage of John down at the local Bridgend Sports Club, just doing a sort of meet the locals night. So we'll show that one for you. Comes up. So you can see he's trying his best with Right, so yeah, John didn't have much success then, but these days, so accustomed to his new homeland, he can often be seen just grazing on the side of the road. So if you do, just be sure to give him a wave. Right, where are we? Right, finally, Bex. Maybe she's just in sheer awe of his DIY handyman skills. Although being a relative novice when they first got together, after completing a full house renovation in Bridgend, no longer they can be considered DIY clowns. And there's most definitely not any cowboys around when John's involved. Well, whichever one it is, John, you've done extremely well. You found yourself a true keeper. Someone who's beautiful, charming, loving, caring, and super clever. All degrees from small to this girl. And Bex, well, you've got John. But at least you can be safe in the knowledge that you found your frog prince. And we'll show a little demonstration of this as well. Oh, hang on. Should be playing, it's not. Technical hitch.
Pause for technical hitch.
Just be the frog. The horse, bring up.
There's a close-up of your frog prince there. Well, on a serious note, John, you're a great guy and been a great friend over the years, and it truly is an honour to be your best man. I think you and Bex are a perfect match for each other and have made a great start to your life over here in Bridgend. You've made an awesome house together and even had some TV fame along the way. You both have perfectly matched attitudes of making the most out of life, and I think you're in the perfect place to go outdoors and explore what you have now on your doorstep. So on behalf of myself and everyone here, I wish you all the very best for your future and many, many long years of happiness. And you never know, with all this talk of free bridge tolls, we may even make it over to see you at some point. So, now, just before I wrap up and we all head to the bar, just one last thing, John.
Yeah.
No, we're not doing the chant. Maybe later. Just one last thing, John. You've clearly showed from the previous videos that you can act like a local. You say you can dress like a local, but I think the question on everyone's mind is, can you sing like a local? Oh yes, John. We're singing. Right. Now, so, John, you're going to sing us a song. You're not accepted into the Welsh community until you can sing, that's obvious. and what none better than the Welsh icon that is Tom Jones, none other. And I've got the perfect song for you to sing to your lady. Don't worry, mate, there's 2 microphones, I'll give you a hand, alright? Eh? Well, come on, John. You can't be Welsh, so you can sing.
Yeah, cheers, bro.
Hello. Right. sing it. Some Jones. Ready? Let's go. This is hard. So nice. Whoa, 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 she's a lady. Talking about the little lady. And the lady is there's something not to say, what a blessing. I believe her on the road. She's a lady, Lord, blessing. She's a lady. Whoa, 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 she's a lady. Talking about the little lady. And the lady is mine. She's all yours, guys, she's all yours. This is tough. Refuse her, treat her with respect, never would abuse her. What she's got is all the fun, and I don't want to lose her. Help me build a mountain from a little bottle of food. I think what's a bit weird on that. Knows what I'm about. She can take what I can shout, that's not easy. Well, she knows me through and through. She just does what I can do to please me. She's a lady. Don't anyone know just what. Whoa, whoa, she's a lady. Talking about the little lady. And the lady is mine. Yeah, yeah, she's a lady. Three people, she's a lady. Hey, yeah, yeah, she's a lady. She's a lady. Whoa, 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 she's a lady. Come on, say so, come on. That's mine. She's all yours, John. She's all yours. Ladies and gentlemen, please be outstanding and raise a glass of something fizzy to your bride and groom, Mr. and Mrs. Little, John and Bex.
Your hands make lots and lots of noise for John and Rebecca, the brand new Mr. and Mrs. Little! When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see. Be afraid, just stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. If the sky that we look upon should tumble and fall, or the mountain should crumble, I won't cry, no, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me. And darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me, stand by me. Whenever you're in trouble, won't you stand by me?
Ladies and gentlemen, John and Rebecca, they're brand new. Mr. and Mrs. Liddell!
When I am alone, I sit and dream, and when I dream, the words are missing. Yes, I know that in a room so full of light, that all the light is missing. But I don't see you with me. Close up the windows, bring the sun to my room, through the door you've opened, close inside of me, the light you see, that you met in the darkness. Time to say goodbye. Horizons are never far. Would I have to go them alone, without true light of my own? With you, I will go on ships on the seas that I now know. Time to say goodbye. Crazy, in oh my, veduto vissuto con te, adesso livio con te, partirò su navi pomari che lo so, no è straniero no più, e cozzelli rivo con te, partirò su navi pomari che lo so.
Hands up! Rebecca, are you ready? Ladies, are you ready? Let's go. 3, 2, 1.5, 1, half, go!
But too late, I wait around and then I run to the door. I can't take anymore. It's not you. You let me down again. Baby, try to find a little time and I'll make you happy. I'll be beside you, waiting for you. Why do you build me up? But I love you still, I need you, more than anyone, darling. You know that I have from the start. So build me up, darling, don't break my heart. You are my toy, but I could be the boy you adore. And you just make me love the world.
very dumb. This is for the new Mrs. Little.
Thanks, Pete.
Flowers in my hair. When the head of state didn't play guitar, not everybody drove a car. When music really mattered and when radio was king. When accountants didn't have control and the media couldn't buy your soul. When computers were still scary and we didn't know everything. Oh, I wish I was a punk rocker with flowers in my hair. In 77 and 69, revolution was in the air. I was born too late into a world that doesn't care. Oh, I wish I was a punk rocker with flowers in my hair. When pop stars still remained a myth and ignorance could still be bliss. And when God save the queen, she turned a whiter shade of pale. My mom and dad were in their teens and anarchy was still a dream. And the only way to stay in touch was a letter and the mail. Oh, I wish I was a punk rocker with flowers in my hair. In 77, 69, revolution was in the air. I was born too late into a world that doesn't care. Oh, I wish I was a punk rocker with flowers in my hair. When record shops were still on top and vinyl was all that they stopped, and the super info highway was still drifting out in space. Kids were wearing hand-me-downs and playing games meant kick around.